any of those. But this is basically a beginner's guide to wall bouncing. Super easy, honestly. So like some prerequisites you kind of want to know is sensitivity does not matter. Um, Honestly, I would start off as like on a low sensitivity, so you're less likely to start swinging your camera around and more likely to use your left stick. But again, doesn't really matter. When you play default, if you take cover, you have to release your button, otherwise you will roadie run. So you have to tap and release. You'll see the button highlighted when I'm running. You'll see the button highlight briefly and then let go when I take cover. And that's default. Alternate is the opposite. The moment you tap that button, it takes cover. I'm still holding it, but I'm already in the wall. I didn't roadie run. It operates differently. But I guess just to show you some random stuff you can do with a little tutorial following that, you could do this type of thing here. So all of that is like obviously years of practice, but you don't do what I did and you actually stick to a control scheme and you put some actual effort into learning this shit and learn the angles, learn the timing, you will get better at this faster than I did. It took me like 5 years of practicing this shit to actually finally reach the point that I'm at now. But for this, you push your left stick forward and you just rock it left and right while it's pressed forward. Your character will kind of do some weird little walking animation. It's going to look similar but also different depending on the game that you play, but this tutorial will basically function the same for every single game except Gears 1 and 2. Gears 3, 4, 5, Judgment even, this is the same. It's the same style. But now you want to start incorporating your A button. And you could see that on the controller overlay if you wanted to like slow the video down. But it's super simple. You just have to learn the timing. You can go slow. You can go kind of fast. But that's super easy. The next thing, which is kind of the same but different, you can do angles. So like you don't really hold your joystick in any specific direction, but you flick it like to your top right and then bottom left. Obviously, I'm butchering it, but you could do that from the like right to the left or the left to the right. I'm not good at doing it from this side. I can try it. But yeah, it's honestly super simple. All of this does work on default too. I'm not going to be able to do a lot of it on default because I'm not a default player. But if you wanted to do angles on default, it's the same thing. It's just slightly slower because of the fact that you have to release your A button before it works. And just to show that this works on default too, all of this can be done on default. So that's that side of things. On top of like the weird angular stuff you can do, you can also do like just a regular like side to side. Basically push your left stick to the right or the left, depending on whatever side you want to start on. And the moment you reach that direction that you're trying to go, you press your A button. Then you pull back in the opposite direction and press your A button again. So it'll look like this. I'm going to try to go slow, that way it's like understandable. But that's that. To do like this, I find it easier to do this on like weird curved walls, but you could do it on straight walls too. But it's called a pullback bounce. You basically it's exactly what it sounds like. You press your A button and you pull backwards in the opposite direction that you're facing. So if you're looking to your left, you pull back to your right. If you're facing your right, pull back to your left. I also kind of, when I was doing this at the start, there's some weird shit in there. Basically, like, I guess I do it kind of like an angular bounce in a way, but I only press my A button when I am on the side that I want to go. So it's kind of like pullbacking. Like, it's kind of like this, but with an extra step, so you don't have to look at the wall when you do it. Don't think it works going backwards in this game, when I'm on. Maybe you could do it backwards on Gears 5 and 4. But yeah, you basically just push your joystick kind of to the top right if you're facing to your right, and then you pull back at the opposite direction. And then if you're like trying to go to your left, it's the same style motion. You push your joystick to the direction you're trying to go, and you'll start to glide that way. And you basically just cancel pulling back the opposite way. That's a little harder to do on default. If you're pretty coordinated, you might be able to get that. I don't know. Everybody's different. Me personally, I can't do that shit on default because I'm just really not that good. But um, in addition to like being able to go forward, you can also make your character go backwards. So like if you're shooting somebody and you want to do some like tricky ass shit, you can start going backwards. It's the exact same thing as going forwards. You just pull backwards and rock your stick to the left and right, going backwards. I'm not that good at that. Somebody else, watching this may be able to provide better advice in the comments or some shit, but it's not that hard. I'm really poorly coordinated. But you can combine your wall bounces and do all sorts of like weird shit to kind of, I guess, fly around. Like when I'm fighting people and I'm doing this, every now and then I'll like transition into just start gliding because I feel like it'll take me farther because they don't expect you to just start doing the fucking jitterbug along one singular wall. Nobody expects that shit. But I would highly recommend practicing this shit without using your camera and get used to this. Like if you're going from wall to wall and you like let's say you accidentally fuck up and hit the wrong one instead of just going straight down here, get used to pulling backwards. Get used to canceling. So like I guess yeah, get used to that. Like I wanted to go through the middle here. I accidentally hit the face of this section here. Get used to pulling back and then recorrecting yourself. It's it's just a rhythm game basically. You fucking I guess play Fortnite or Mortal Kombat or whatever. And you're doing these insane fucking button combinations. You should be able to like fairly quickly adapt to just pressing one single button and moving your left joystick with proper timing. But this one is my favorite one. Out of everything that I can do, this here took me the longest because I'm not coordinated. But not really the best tutorial. I know that. I guess my last piece of information would be in order to hit this wall here, it's no different than hitting a smaller one. So this one, let's call this 5 feet. Let's call this 10 feet. You barely move your left joystick here. You're gonna want to barely just move it here too. Timing might be a little different, but you still barely just want to mess with your joystick. You don't want to be like flicking that thing all over the place and doing crazy shit. Um, Another thing, just because I keep remembering that there's so many different things that I used to do. If you're not good at doing this, and you just practice and practice and practice, and you can't get it down, just camera bounce that shit. Just push your left stick forward and use your camera. You don't even have to move your left stick. Move your camera. It's obviously not as great, but if you combine it with like canceling, you can still do the same thing. You can still achieve the same effect on people. Because honestly, doing this, you're going to be in one spot. See, I'm basically just along this line here. But if you use your camera, you'll be all over the place. And your target's not really going to know what's going on. You could just quickly stop and fucking pop them. Super simple. Um, but I guess that's my tutorial on how to wall bounce. Took me 5-ish years to get to the point that I'm at now. Still got a lot that I could do better. Some of you may learn it faster, some of you may not learn it. It's just the truth of it. This shit's honestly not, I'm not going to say hard per se, but it all depends on like your hand-eye coordination. How fast you can receive that information in your brain and process like what to do next and shit like that. But don't get discouraged if it, takes you more than an hour to figure some of this shit out. Eventually you're going to hit that point where you start doing something, you're going to recognize the animations and you're going to see like, holy shit, I did that correctly. Like a big thing for me, there's a there's a YouTuber, I'm going to type it in the game chat, but his channel is this, Azurx. I used to watch his old like console Gears of War 3 videos and I'd like look at his character, the way the fucking legs moved, the way the gun moved, everything, the way his camera moved. I would watch everything. And then I'd go to my game and I would try to recreate those identical animations. And that's when I knew that I was holding my controller the right way, moving the joystick the right way, pressing the A button with the right timing. Super easy. Honestly, if you just want to start out doing this, super simple. Press A, pull backwards, press A, pull backwards, press A, pull backwards. On alternate, you want to do it the moment you press A, otherwise you start like getting stuck. But on default, you have a little more leeway to kind of just do whatever you want. I guess just one final point to prove that default does work, and not just like some hearsay shit. You can do this all on default. But the reason I melee when I transition between walls like that is so I don't accidentally misroll like that. Like if I were to melee, I probably would have hit the wall. Honestly, super, super simple. Everything that I showed you could be done on default, but I'm an alternate player, so I'm not very good at default. But that's my tutorial. It's not the greatest, I know, but I guess as a start, hopefully that helps somebody. If you ever have questions, feel free to leave a comment. I'm gonna leave my Twitch, Discord, and I'll leave my Twitter as well in my comments, and I'll pin the comment. I stream pretty regularly, like pretty much every day of the week except Monday and Tuesday. So if you ever just want to pop in when I'm live, ask a question or get some games in or something, let me know. I can make a video as well for Gears 2. I can make a video for Gears 1, even though that one's the simplest game to move on. Do kind of anything. Just like I said, leave a comment and let me know. And that's all I've got. Thanks.